Well, thanks for joining me again in this series of introductory classes for watercolour. We're looking at different topics to introduce you to the whole subject of watercolour, and those of you who haven't painted before, is to take away the mystique of watercolour. People get daunted with watercolour, but like a lot of things, it's all about confidence and practice. And the more we do something, the more we get confident with the materials, be it the brushes, the paper we're using, or our paints. I'm going to talk a little bit about paint boxes. If you haven't got any paint boxes or a paint box of watercolours, you can start very basically with a travel kit, which is the smaller variety, something like that. You get even smaller ones, which Cotman do, which is part of the Winsor & Newton range. And they come in a variety of primary colours and some secondary colours, but basically a range of your principals, reds, blues, greens. And we'll talk about colour mixing and how to do that shortly. These are the little sets I've had for years and I work with because you get comfortable with the paints that you use. This is one of my favourite little palettes. It's a tray, travel kit, and again, it's a whole row of colours. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 colours, which range from our blues, which would be our ultramarines and cobalt blues, through to our various tones of green, to our lemon yellows, and we've got our scarlet reds. Even with the three primary colours, which are basically our reds, blues, and yellows, we can mix our main colours that we need to use. But if you're comfortable and not wanting to mix too many colours, you can have a whole tray with all the basic colours in them. And if you get an even larger, this is an old set of mine, you can see it's been well used, you can have up to maybe 32 colours. So you've got every range and tone you want. So you don't have to worry too much about mixing. But as we discussed earlier, you can mix with your palette tray or plates, very useful, or we can actually do colour mixing when we're more confidence. We can do that actually as we're painting. And I try to encourage people to explore that. But again, that comes with more experience, and the more you practice, you'll get more confident to do that. So basically what I'm going to do now is just talk through just the basic colour mixing elements. So I'm going to take, and as we talked before about loading our brush, we just take water, which is our medium, and we're taking the red, for example, and I'm loading the brush. I'm using the dagger brush, which I spoke about earlier, which is my favourite. And I'm going to just lay some on the tray. Just put some red, wash out the brush. I also have tissue for cleaning out your brushes, because then the colour will remain in the brush more than you think. And sometimes that's where people get into difficulties, because they don't wash or rinse brushes, and it means that you're actually mixing on the brush. So the colour you think you've got is actually being mixed on the brush. So just a small tip to remember. Plenty water, clean water, and have even a couple of beakers of water, because the water does get tinted over time. But again, we can use that as part of the painting. So I'm going to take now some blue, which is a nice cerulean blue, and just load that onto the plate. Again, I'll wash my brush. Always have plenty of tissue, just to dab it. And then we're going to take some yellow. This is a sort of, not a bright lemon yellow, this is a medium yellow. And again, load the brush up, take plenty paint, and you'll find that the more paint, you can draw paint off if you put too much on, but if you put too little on, it'll actually go very transparent very quickly, especially in a warm room. Now, I'll just load a bit more red. So there's our three primary colours. So what we can then do is wash the brush, and we can take some yellow and mix with our red, and we'll start to get a tone of orange. And it depends on the intensity, if you get a strong dusky orange or a bright orange, depending on the amount of paint you've got. So that's the one basic. You remember that from school probably. And then we can take blue and yellow, and most of you will guess what colour we can get from that. I'll just join the two colours together, and we start to form. Now that's a lot of blue in that, so I'll need to add more yellow, because the strength and the amount of one colour can override another. But now you'll see we've now got a green tone in between. Okay, and the last one we'll do, as we did earlier, I'll just load the red up. And again, many of you know what colour we'll produce if we mix the two. I'll just take a small amount of the blue and mix it in with my red. And of course there I've got a violet, purple, depends on the amount of blue and the amount of red. But again, you'll get confidence in practicing that. This is what you call a colour wheel. Now we've got our primary colours into our secondary colours. That's the basic colour mixing that you need to know for basic things. Again, you don't need to make a green if you want to use the green from your palette, but it's good to know when you apply certain paints and they mix on the paper, sometimes these colours will mix naturally in front of you and you'll see a colour actually forming. So it's just to give you an understanding of how that works. So that's a wee introduction to basic colour mixing. We'll look at other applications and we'll actually work on using the colours on a wee composition later on. So again, thanks for joining me again. Thank you.